Hey, Matt here, and Money in the Bank is in the books, and holy shit, what a show. And I mean, it's one of those things too where finally we get to have the Money in the Bank in another country, like we talked about for the Wheels of Fury episode. This was awesome, and I think that was one of the key things that I think that everyone was looking forward to. I kind of wish that SmackDown wasn't before Money at the Bank in the London. I keep forgetting the name of that arena. But it is what it is, obviously, and yeah, this was a really good show. Which started off with Money in the Bank for the men's side, and it was kind of interesting how people talked about the whole thing with guys LA Knight wanting him to win, but this was obviously a very chaotic match. I mean, bodies, just ladders being used, and there's one point where AJ jumped off the apron onto Damian Priest on a ladder, which was pretty fucking sick. You got Ricochet hit a Spanish Fly on Logan Paul. This was like one of the best matches that, well, this year. And I mean, you have Santos Escobar with, I guess he was going for a Zorro look, but he had like a black bandana. In my opinion, he looked like a raccoon. That's just my opinion, but yeah, he thought Logan was gonna win, but everyone actually teamed up to kick his ass a few times during this match, but you have LA Knight being knocked off the ladder. Damian Priest got up and snatched the briefcase, becoming, well, as he wants to call it, Senior Money in the Bank. So I said this to Kyle last night. I think maybe he's going to become a face. Just the crowd reaction that he got, and kind of acting like a face himself. So, I mean, it could be also the decline of the Judgment Day, which I think would suck. Although, there are rumors of Jordan Devlin coming in, which we'll see if that works. I mean, yeah, I mean, the Bloodline has imploded. I don't know if the Judgment Day will do that just yet, but the way it was. Yeah, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who defeated Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Not like you would think. Like, it was bizarre, Yeah, Ronda basically dissecting Liv, You're thinking that she's gonna get the pen over her. You got Liv Morgan coming out. It's very cool because it seemed like you have Raquel coming out with the England colors, yellow and red. But I don't know. That's not the England colors. I'm thinking of something else. And then you have Liv with the singlet that kind of looks like the Union Jack. But anyways, yeah, this was a really good match. And obviously, you have that point where Ronda is getting psyched up to finish off Liv, and Shayna turns on her. Okay. I don't know where that came from. So I guess that's it, There's a rumor though that Ronda is taking time off. Not sure for what, but that might happen. And I smell a match at SummerSlam So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, Gunther versus Matt Riddle. This was awesome. See, Matt's ridiculous French birds. But yeah, I've gone through working on Matt's ankle for most of the match during submission holds. They both were during submission holds. In fact, you had Matt do the Kimura lock at one point, which obviously wouldn't work. It was leg lock after leg lock until finally Gunther got the win. And as he celebrated, out comes a returning Drew McIntyre, which obviously the O2 Arena was ape shit for, so that was pretty cool. And so he came out, basically gave Walter a headbutt, then went over and did the Claymore. Now, he did hold up the Intercontinental title. You know how I feel about that. So, yeah, again, another match for SummerSlam, it looks like. But it was great to see Drew back in the UK. I mean, he did talk about having a pay-per-view in the UK. Yes, I know he was in Wales for Clash of Castle. But this was cool just to see him in England, and we'll see where this match goes. I can't wait to see what happens. I think that Drew might knock Gunther off the Intercontinental Championship reign. It would be interesting to see Drew McIntyre as the Intercontinental Champion again. I think his first run, he was too young and it was not mature enough. But we'll see what happens. I mean, you have Dominic versus Cody. This match was okay. You obviously thought that Dominic was going to win by the help of Rhea, but yeah, this was kind of, you knew Cody was going to destroy Dominic, so to speak, and yeah, he did, basically. So, winning the match. There were some close calls where Dominic, you thought he was going to win, but that never happened, so there you have this thing now with John Cena making a surprise return. It was really nothing special, to be honest with you. It was him coming out saying how much the UK crowd is the best crowd in the world, but it is. Like, honestly, I think one of the best crowds. You have them singing along to a lot of these guys. You have them cheering, coming alive quite a bit. So I think that's pretty fucking cool. And yeah, that's gonna be cool if they ever have WrestleMania in England. I mean, that would be, like, I think SummerSlam was cool. WrestleMania, if you have that outside of the US or Canada, that would be pretty fucking awesome. And by the way, look at John Cena's G.I. Joe outfit. Kind of. You have Grayson Waller coming out interrupting. They have a back and forth. And Grayson tries to take a cheap shot, but John does the attitude adjustment. And yeah, leaves with the crowd happy. So, I mean, it was alright.
Jungle.
This was cool. You have the women's Money in the Bank match. There was a spot where there was a power bomb off the ladder, onto another ladder that was lying flat. This was awesome just to see all these women and how amazing they are, you know. Honestly thinking that it was going to be a close call, but Io Shirai went up the ladder, taking down a briefcase, and once again, just like Damien, the reaction from the crowd, it was a face reaction. And we all know that with the whole thing where Damage Control is possibly crumbling, Dakota's out with an injury, so who knows what's going to happen with that. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We have 2 Money in the Bank winners. That's pretty cool. We got Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Yeah, Finn did a couple coup de grace on Seth. You know, there was a point where Seth did a frog splash. You thought, okay, he's going to get injured again. But Seth pulled it off, retaining the world title. When Damien Priest came out during the match, you thought he was going to cash in. Like, he came running down, but he stopped in his tracks, basically sitting in during the match. Finn got distracted, and that's how Seth obviously picked up the win. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like, honestly, I mean, they have my speculations. I know Edge is coming back. I don't think that his feud with Rollins is over. And there's that whole thing where Edge will become world champion before he retires. So I'm not sure. But then you got Damien Priest, who is Money in the Bank now. So I'm not quite sure where that's going to go. So before the match, the main event, you have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on top of the building, looking down, and Kayla Braxton is there. And yeah, they talk about the match. They talk about how Roman needs his just desserts. You know, he's been a bully for the past 2 years, so we'll see what happens. So the Bloodline Civil War happened, and this was cool. And I mean, it was pretty much your trope, if you will, the standoff between all 4 competitors before they slug it out. You know, it was just very cool to see. And I mean, it was like you have, at one point, I think it was Jimmy, who you have Solo and Roman team up, like Solo doing the spike while Roman gets ready and he does the spear. That doesn't do it. You have Jay jumping off the rope. It was the head shrinker style thing where he, you know, jumps off the rope onto Roman, and I guess it was since December of 19 that Roman got pinned, so that's fucking a long time. So that's pretty cool. You know, that was just one of those things where you think, alright, we'll see what happens now. You know, Roman got beat. So, you know, I ain't so splashed, is it? And that's pretty cool. So, we'll see what happens in Monday Night Raw. Actually, SmackDown. But yeah, like I said, a Bloodline imploded, obviously. And it looks like the Judgment Day is going to do the same thing. So, I know I didn't do this review justice, but it was still a very good show. On to Detroit for SummerSlam. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller is
Gnarly.
that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews, like